Get the headset off. Hello there, everyone. Who we got in here? I kept pushing it back because I was watching. I was watching the episode of Bad Batch because that's what we're going to be reviewing. And last week it was a bit more of a simpler breakdown. This one I've ended up with. I think it might have been like 12, 14 different points. This one had like 35 or something. So I. Time is money, dude. I expect to be well compensated. I want no less than one. But can you actually buy them as ones? Because here in Australia, the most common ones, they come in packs of 2. There's the benefit of me not. Oh, there we go, Sin. It'll be a short and sharp one. Probably about 45 minutes, I reckon. Be short and sharp. Hope everyone's had a good Easter. Cause it's still Sunday night over there in the States. Julie's in the house. Sin's obviously in the house. What is for dinner? Pork tenderloin and fried potatoes and green beans. You can't go wrong with that, can you? Julie's happy with this. In the forces with Jesse is in the building. Fellow countryman, fellow statesman, same name. Perfect. Perfect. Absolutely. We'll take one. We can share. We can share, Sid. We can share. We can share. The meeting of the mind. Oh my lord. Where are we gonna put this? We'll put this over here. Just setting it up. Oh, actually, we could go. I'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. How's everyone's week been? Easter. Do you guys get like a long weekend in America for Easter? Because yeah, in Australia we get the Friday off and the Monday off, so we get a 4-day weekend. So here it's Monday at the moment. Got that? I need help. What's it gonna be, Master Genobi? I need help. What's it gonna be? What is it gonna be? What's like a need like a need like a Jedi name. I'm trying to think. First thing that comes to mind is like Sassy Tin. You could do like Jesse Tin. But I was a huge fan of the latest episode. I was a huge fan of the latest episode. I can't remember what I rated last week. So I think I said about 7.58. And not because it was a bad episode, but because it was like building. This week's episode, I love when they dig into the Force a bit. So that definitely puts it up there already. Ventress back is awesome. Yeah, it's a 9.5. I'm trying to leave the 10s because I know we're going to get something epic / emotional towards the end. So I'm trying to like reserve the 10s, but for the series so far, 10. It was great. Oh, 100%. You know what's up. You know what's up. Yes, Julie, I need you on the name thing. I actually rated this episode first time ever. What did you rate it, Julie? What did you rate it? Ventress is awesome. I'm so interested in what they're going to do because by all accounts we've sort of only got a taste of what the future might hold for Ventress in future projects. So I've got a few ideas, few theories that we'll get to. 9.5, yeah, same as me. Are you on the like same thing here as well? You're sort of like saving the 10s because you know we're gonna get something like epic towards the end as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Don't be holding back your rankings and hope to say it later. Rank them as they go. What if you held back at 10? The rest sucked about crap. I should have voted that way. That's what I mean. That's why I said 9.5 in like the scale of what the whole thing should be. But it's a 10. It is a 10. You're right. It is a 10. It is a 10. It is a 10. I'm just going do this very quickly. You're right, Jelly. When sin is right, sin is right. No, 100%. It is a 10. It is a 10. You're right. Just going to let some people know we're live. Of course I'm right. Being right is what I do. It's I think. Did she or what did he think of the clone on Camino? He even got a little kiss. He got stabbed, but he even got a little kiss. Of all my many qualities, though, she's been right. She's in the top nearby modesty and humbleness. Probably top 50. We need a top 50 of oh my lord. Hey. He's not hiding it, is he, Julie? He's not hiding it. I like it. I like it, Sin. Go for it. Actually, while we're on it, before we get to my little live breakdown, if Asajj was to go live action, who would you guys want as the actor? I've seen a couple good ones floated around. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I'm with you. Julie's with you. I've actually got that in my breakdown. Maybe, Sin, do you like, should I go like Ventress hair? What do I do here? Let's see, can I style my hair like Ventress? I need to leave a bit on the sides. It's hard doing it in an opposite reflection. I need that Ventress hair. So there's a bit going back, and then you got the bit down there. There you go, Ventress. You need a bit left out to the sides, and then the rest can go back. I actually do have that in my breakdown. There's a screenshot just of the backwards hair. Julie is adamant. There is not a discussion about it. It's facts. Yeah, I saw someone floated Angelina Jolie, and that just doesn't fit Star Wars, I don't think. Because you think with Star Wars, how many big time actors have they had? Obviously, they've had ones that have gone big after, but how many like big actors have they taken and put into Star Wars? Not many. Not many. You cannot do that voice episode of that look, that sexiness and toughness live action ever. Ventress is always animation. Hey, that is facts. That is facts. You never know. You might get someone, but I do know what you're saying. Got to undercut it a bit. I saw your store when I found your account. I saw. I think you had Kessel Run in your bio. Yeah. So what is it? It's like because I saw you sell like some figures in that, but it's also a hairdresser, is it? That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna. I don't go to Marion often. I think last time I was there. Ooh, when was the last time I was at Marion? I reckon the last time I was at Marion genuinely would have been about a year ago. got a nice little watch at my store there. Went to the Lego store, got my Razor Crest, which you can see there. Got the Razor Crest, and I think I don't remember if I got the Mando helmet on that same day as well. But yeah, I got the Razor Crest, that little Lego Razor Crest there. But no, next time at Marion, I'm definitely popping in. How long have you guys been up? Because I didn't even know you you guys were a thing. And I'm always looking for like Star Wars stuff here in Adelaide. I think it would be better if it's someone who can pull off the saber and fighting and train them to act rather than trying. And 100%, especially with Ventress's skills. Star Wars collectibles, we do sell a few bits. That's awesome, man. I'll definitely duck in there. Next time I'm down Marion, I'm 100% going there. 100%. What's going on, Sublight? You're New Zealand, aren't you? You're from New Zealand, I think, aren't you? I'm trying to remember where everyone's from. Salon has been there for 20 plus years, but it became Kessel Run in 2018. Okay. Best place to... Dude, that would be awesome. Do you just have, like, Star Wars on, like, non-stop on the TVs there? I can't believe I haven't heard of you guys before. I genuinely... Yeah, like... Because I'm always Googling, like, Star Wars Adelaide, Star Wars South Australia, like, trying to, like, just seeing what is out there. How have I not heard of you guys before? And I only just, like, happened... I'm trying to think. Someone... I don't know if I saw you comment on someone's thing on Instagram or someone shared saying onto one of their stories. I can't remember. But I was like, oh, we got the same name. And then I realized we're both from Adelaide. I was like, wait, hold up. Love the Ahsoka series, but they blew it with animation and live action. I keep saying some things need to be animation. Damn, Julie. I 100% get what you're saying. I thought they did. Any characters in particular or just in general? Just over the ditch. Good to have you here, my guy. Yeah, not many. I think I'm like 50% done with Survivor, but I'm getting close-ish. That's awesome. Yeah. So is this your first time playing it, JS? We've done a couple toy fairs in the last couple of years. So when they had Oz Comic Con here last year when Emily Swallow was there, me and my mate accidentally lined up for one of the toy shows they had at the showgrounds because we thought that's like we just saw a big lineup and we thought that's where because I think a lot of people did that. And then we got to the front and realized it was actually a toy show. So we're like, oh, we're in the wrong bit. So we ducked around the back and that's where the convention was. That's awesome though. Hey, now that's an idea. That's an idea. I'd much rather have Ventress animation. Would have preferred Ahsoka being animated as well. Could have stuck with Ashley and Nika being the voice actors. Oh, especially Ashley, man. Like when you hear her speak, it's like I don't know how much she actually has to alter her natural voice to be Ahsoka. Because just when you hear her speak, you can hear Ahsoka straight away. We've got a love story on our hands. It's a Taylor Swift song, isn't it? Love story. All right, should we get into the breakdown? Let me just check. I think I've got 34 or 35. Yeah, I got 34 different screenshots here to share with you guys. Yeah, 34 different screenshots. Some will be super quick. Rosario played Ahsoka. Ashley is Ahsoka. I think, yeah. Rosario did absolutely, like, I hate it when people don't, like, I get what you're saying. I know you're not hating on Rosario. I hate when people don't understand how good Rosario is as Ahsoka, though. She studied it to a T. She got it, like, down to every minuscule detail. Well, he agreed with the animation bit. But yeah, like, Rosario studied Ahsoka, like, down to the absolute minuscule detail. I think she did an absolutely phenomenal job. But, like, yeah, I 100% get what you're saying. Like, yeah. Alright, should we get into the breakdown? I think I'm having more fun doing them live. Because I did all the Ahsoka ones and I started off enjoying them, but then towards the end it got felt like a bit of a drag. But I think I just like doing these live ones with you guys. A bit less structure, get to have a conversation with you guys too. So it's good. Rosario crushed the role. She did an amazing job. It was clear her passion. Yeah, 100%. I get what you're saying. 100%. Second time. So have you come across Rick yet? What are you up to? I'd love to see Ventress in live action, but it needs to be done properly, and it needs to canonize her duel with Anakin on Yavin. That would be sick. That would be sick. JS is in the house. All right, let's get into this breakdown. Let me. What am I doing here? Where am I putting myself? Here. Present. Share screen. What are we going with? How's this look? All right. Cool. All right. So anyway, yeah. So I'm actually heading to that location right now. I kind of forgot he was in. Oh, well, there you go. I've spoiled it. Only thing bad about my camera being down here is that, yeah, when I put comments up. That's all right. You don't have to look at my head then that way. So that's all right. That's probably a good thing. So obviously this is where the episode starts. We're on Pabu. Hunter comes, I think, Crosshair and Rekka were just helping some fishermen load some supplies. They're on Pabu, and then Hunter comes out. He's been waiting on word from Fennec. Obviously, he's probably been glued to his chair on the Marauder, waiting for word from her. It sounds like they're getting pretty keen, desperate for some info on what an M count is. And then, so we're just setting the scene pretty well at this point. So they're here. Then you've got Omega and Batcher. And you know, their relationship, obviously Batcher's quite loyal to her, probably especially because of, you know, she freed him and then went back and saved him. So the relationship at the moment is a bit like a human and a dog, you know, like man's best friend sort of thing. And that's sort of how they're playing down here on the beach as well. So it's a cool little dynamic they've got going. But yeah, then Batcher, you know, gets distracted, as dogs can sometimes, especially when he was chasing something like any animal would. But he sort of stops here at this cave entrance. You know, he's wary. And then to us, the viewer, you know, it's quite ominous. It's quite ominous. She goes searching, and she finds this ship. Gave me sort of flashbacks. I don't know what to that. I don't know if it was Ochi of Bastoon's ship. I know that wasn't in a dark cave, but I don't know. It just gave me flashbacks to that. Or even when they went looking for like Sifo-Dyas's in the Clone Wars. No, it just gave me, and obviously like this isn't destroyed, it's in one piece, it's functioning. But I don't know, it just gave me flashbacks to that for some reason. Not sure why. But anyway, yeah. So she comes across this ship, and Batcher is still making some noises. You know, he senses something's not quite right, something's a bit off. And then this little mysterious person comes walking up behind Omega, and obviously it gives her a bit of a fright. But that's what we see for now, because then the 3 Bad Batch members, because apparently Echo has officially left the Bad Batch now. He's off with Rex. You know, they go down to the beach looking for her, can't find her, but they see Batcher come tailing it back, absolutely legging it back along the beach. And that's a bit of a cause for concern, obviously, because they're always keeping an eye on Omega. They know what the Empire's after. They know they're tracking her down. So her not being with Batcher is not a great sign. So they go following Batcher. It's only around, it's not a long trip, just sort of around the beach. And that's when Ventress brings her out. And it's a bit menacing at this stage because it's sort of like, what side is Ventress on? At least to them. Obviously, us, the viewer, probably have a bit of an idea. It brings her out and they're like, what's going on here, sort of thing. but then lets her go, and then they start to have a bit of a chat. So then, yeah, they're having a bit of a chat here. Ventress is telling them, probably the most alarming thing, she was able to find them without having been given their location. So that's a bit of a cause for concern. Obviously, she's probably got a bit of an advantage, having capabilities with the Force, which might give her a bit of an advantage over just your stock standard bounty hunter. They tell her, obviously, she knows what they're after because Fennec would have told her, as we saw, but she obviously want M count information. But she does warn them, it's a bit reckless to go asking around about things such as M count. But her first question is she wants to know why they want the information. She says, I'll consider that my payment. They don't want to tell her why, because telling her why would obviously give up Omega, and not knowing at this stage they might have begun to have some suspicions who she is. They might have recognized her already. But they're not going to give up the Empire's most wanted at the moment pretty well, besides Jedi, to someone they don't know. They're not going to give up her story. So they're a bit reluctant. Omega sort of jumps to the forefront and tells her story, but replaces her name with a friend. So yeah, that's how she sort of breaks the ice there. So then that gives Ventress the green light, so she begins to explain what an M count is. Also, this is the first time we finally got the word midi-chlorian mentioned, which was great, because everyone has just been calling it an M count so far, which probably more so points to the Bad Batch not really, obviously it's not a thing everyone knows, so they've just heard of this word M count, whereas we got introduced to it in the Phantom Menace. 100%. So I'm sticking my hand up here. I haven't actually read the full thing, but I've seen enough videos and read enough about it to sort of know how it goes, and I mentioned it here a bit later in the breakdown, because there was a couple things that happened that sort of, it might just be like a bit of a shout out, but I thought it was interesting, bit of a shout out to the book. But yeah, I think I can get the general gist of how the book goes, but I still want to read the full thing 100%. I know everything I've heard insanely positive, so I do definitely want to get. I've got a stack of books here. I've got a stack of books back there that Julie sent me. I've got so many to get through. I've just bought a couple more as well, so I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. But yeah, she basically explains that an M count is something in the blood. Her description of it was a little bit interesting, I thought. Because she explains everyone has it, but at varying levels, which I assume is common knowledge now. Those with a higher count were believed to be more capable of wielding the Force. She mentions being Force sensitive somewhere. I think it might be a bit later. And anyway, hearing the Force immediately, Hunter associates that with the Jedi, and that perks Omega up, thinking, I could be a Jedi. And as soon as she says, I could be a Jedi, that just obviously ruined her story. So now Ventress knows that it's her that has this possible high M count. But yeah, she explains you'd have to be trained. But she's never known a clone to be Force sensitive, which is where she mentions Force sensitive, which is interesting to me, because the way George explains it is everyone is Force sensitive, just to varying degrees, which is sort of what Ventress explains there. I think it's just easier to say, if you have a high M count, you're Force sensitive, and if you don't have a high M count, you're not Force sensitive. That's just the easier way of saying it, I think. But just going off how George describes it, he says everybody is Force sensitive. And even people with a super low M count, if they absolutely put their mind to it for years, dedicate themselves to it, a discipline, do their training, they probably won't be able to do much. But, they might be able to pick up a glass or something, pick up a pen with the Force. Possibly, I don't know. Depends what their abilities are. But yeah, I think the simplest way to look at it is, M count determines, I suppose, your talent. M count's like your talent, but you've still got to work. You've still got to train. Julie's nice like that. Guys, Julie is like the most generous person in the Star Wars fandom. What she's done for like me and Hannah is insane. The idiot Jedi. Yeah, well, that's how Hu Yang described her. That's how Hu Yang described her. Thank you so much, Julie. Oh my god, you spoil me. You spoil me. The amount I think Julie's like carrying my channel with content in the future. Disney is really leaning into that. Everyone is force sensitive, push their characters to be Jedi if they're female, better, stronger, faster than any man ever. Look, they are, and in some ways, it depends how you look at it, I suppose. In some ways, it's good because they're sticking to they're going really into the George Lucas lore. But then the additional stories they give to some of these characters are just insane. So, pros and cons to everything. Julie is a legend. She gifted me a Revenge of the Sith novel, hardcover, first edition too. That's awesome. That's a perfect trade. I've got something in mind that I want to give Julie. I'm just waiting for it to pop up. I've got something in mind that I don't think you would have, Julie. It's a little outside. It's a little outside your collection. Like, it's not a pop or anything like that, but it's still I know you'll like it. I'm just waiting for it to pop up. I haven't seen actually one pop up. M count seems to me like a starting position. Yeah, it comes easier to those with a higher count. With those with a low count, we'll need to work harder to see the same. Absolutely. The only sort of slight gray area maybe is even if someone with a low M count trains insanely hard, can they still reach those heights? Or are they always just, even if they work super hard, their ceiling is still like pick up a pen or something. Like, they're not going to be able to just push someone out of the way. That's the only question I sort of have. But yeah. Disney's using some of the same stuff from George, but also getting rid of other. Yeah, no, 100%. That's what I mean. Yeah, 100%. Nailed it. Oh, she is. Julie is. No, I'm not sending. Tem. Best stuff. Where is he? Where is Tem? I can't send Tem. You can take a screenshot of me and Tem if you want. Yeah, those were two. Like, they had the potential to be such good characters, and the actors are good. They just completely ruined the story. Yeah. If they gave those characters better backgrounds, they would have been like knockouts. They would have been awesome. They would have been amazing. Envy sets in. He's one of only two Star Wars actors I've met. We got two here in Adelaide last year. Oh my goodness, Sin. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, so Ventress gives them the information. She goes to leave. Considers her job's done. She's given them the information thereafter. But Omega runs after her. She wants more information. Ventress tells her, she can't determine her midichlorian levels without testing her. So Omega asks, like, can you test me? And yeah, when she asked to test her, I was waiting for like maybe a blood sample like we got in the Phantom Menace, like Qui-Gon did with Anakin, which I thought would have been really cool. But you know, didn't happen. But Ventress does warn her. But Omega just needs to know. She needs to know. She's sick of having all these questions. We skip here, and this is the first test. Like a lot of people that get trained for the first time, I'm not going to call her an apprentice, but like a lot of the people that get trained for the first time, Omega's a bit whiny. You know, rock's too slippery. Can we do it somewhere else? Blah blah blah. What's the point of this? Like, just thinks it's a futile exercise. This doesn't determine if I can use the Force or not. Ventress tries to give her, you know, some pointers. Don't try so hard. Go outside of your conscious mind. And then Hunter and Wrecker are in the background. Wrecker's like trying to encourage her. Ventress is trying to get them away just so Omega might be able to focus a little bit better. But, you know, they don't want to leave her. They don't trust Ventress at this stage. Probably have a few suspicions on who she might be. But yeah, and then Omega asks Ventress at one point if she is a Jedi. Ventress says no, but she does know some of their ways. Obviously, was with Quinlan. She's fought a bunch of Jedi, and she was a Jedi initially. So she'd be definitely familiar with some of their ways. That's the pathway to the dark side. It is his birthday. How old is he today? I did see it was his birthday. They're coming, I'm sure. Hey, just get a camp chair set up next to your mailbox. They're coming soon. They're coming. After all the kids we've seen training and struggling, that bit didn't annoy me at all. Hell, she was way ahead of Luke's one. Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, didn't bother me. It was just, you know, comparison. I suppose I made a little link. 53. He's aged well. He's aged very well. He's aged very well. Take my sweet time with it. We've been having great chats. Normally I can stream like forever when I do my weekly streams. I'm just on a little time constraint. Might only have another 10, 15 minutes. So we'll try wrap through it because I do have a few more. This is point 12. So I've still got another 22 to go. And then, you know, Omega sort of like centers herself a little bit, focuses after failing a couple times. And, you know, she actually balances for a little while, which impresses Ventress. While that's happening, though, Crosshair returns because initially it was just Hunter and Wrecker standing there. And he's obviously probably been back in the Marauder checking Tech's files, which confirms their suspicions that that's Asajj Ventress. One of the main villains from the Clone Wars, an assassin, a Sith assassin. And you can see from Ventress's face there, she can probably sense their mood change. Suspicions confirmed. So yeah, having sensed that, she sends Omega off on a second test so that she can confront them about, you know, their suspicions. Here, right in this scene here, she's warning them, you know, not to attack her, not in a menacing way, but it's confident. Yeah, you know, slightly peaceful. You know, she's saying, however you think this is going to go, it's not going to end well for you guys. So, you know, don't try it. It's pretty well, Obi-Wan. Don't try it. So yeah, they ask her to leave, and Ventress starts, you know, sort of playing with them, sarcastic. You know, I'll consider it, but once she's finished testing Omega, you know, sort of making them remain a bit tense about the whole thing. Then they get into a good old fist fight. She disarms them with the Force, throws all their weapons away, beats the absolute crap out of each of them. You know, obviously with her Force senses, she's always going to be a step ahead of them, no matter how good they are. I think Hunter ended up pulling his knife, threw it at her. She catches it, and then she force pushes Wrecker into Hunter and sort of ends it temporarily. But then Crosshair gets their weapons back. Ventress tells them to stand down. They give the classic, we're not big on following orders. They fire on her. She dodges everything before the saber comes out, which makes them stop. They're like, oh. And, the classic line from the trailer, I wasn't planning on killing you, but you're making it very tempting. She's incredibly powerful in the Force as well, being genius level. She should have had a bigger role and more screen time. I wish we got the Dark Disciple in the Clone Wars. I wish we got it. Would have been so good. I'm just glad she's back. She wasn't really trying to... Yeah, no, she was... I wouldn't say toying with them, but it wasn't a hard task for her either at the same time. Yeah, no, 100% agree. 100% agree, Sin. Anyway, yeah. She Omega returns from her hunt. She went and picked the blossom off the tree or whatever. And she comes back to this scene, Ventress is choking Wrecker, Saber Hunter, and Crosshair's just down and out. Hunter's trying to tell Omega, Ventress lied to them. She's not who she says he is. Ventress is like, times have changed. Hunter's trying to separate them. We're not the same still, like they would have in the Republic versus Separatist days. But Ventress is like, well, on the contrary, we are the same, because even though they're on both sides, they ended up losing. They got pawned in the war. They were all chess pieces in Palpatine's much bigger plan. So even though they're both on the same side, both on different sides, there was no winner. There was very few winners in the Clone Wars. Palpatine won, and that was about it. Very, very, very few winners. She toyed with them. Yeah, it was... Yeah, I think they would have... Because obviously they're well adept fighters. But it wasn't a hard task for her at the same time. The point of it was just to get Omega away. That was the whole point of it. As soon as Omega got sent away, I was like, yeah, this isn't real. She was just trying to get her out so she could try and sort this out with them. Which is almost kind of sweet in a way, Like, she didn't want this little kid to see this happen. Not like the Separatist Ventress, that's for sure. And then, yeah, you can tell Ventress is quite hurt by it all, because she tells them, I'm not your enemy, but the Empire is more dangerous than you could possibly fathom. So anyway, after that scene, they're back on the ship, back on the Marauder, and Hunter's trying to tell Omega, Ventress can't be trusted. You have no idea what she did in the war. Because some Ventress scenes were quite brutal, especially when they invaded Kamino. I remember I'd seen the episode, but when it got aired on TV here, they actually cut out part of the scene where she stabs the... I'm blanking on his name. Stabs the captain and, gives him a little kiss. They blanked out part of it, which is insane for what was meant to be a kid's animation show back in the day. Having to, cut out a little bit of it. That's nuts. But here you sort of get the clash of two personalities here. More so with Crosshair and Omega, but even here, the clones have the experience with her, and they've also been burnt. They've been betrayed a bunch of times. Whereas you've got Omega, who's still young and hopeful that everyone can be good. And she's trying to reason with them, saying, "Well, if she's so bad, why didn't she kill them then?" She's hopeful that she can change, and then you get Crosshair over here telling her, she's being naive. But that's also, Crosshair's been burnt more than the others, because he went to the other side thinking he's doing a good thing. He's been burnt, by being loyal to the Empire. So I guess the message there is, experiences shape who we are, but at the same time, we can always learn and grow. So as much as Hunter and Crosshair and that have been teaching Omega, she's also taught them a thing or two. So yeah, it's quite sweet, I think. It's quite sweet, really. I thought the same thing. Guess maybe it was see if she could force jump up the hill, but then I thought it was yeah. No, I think that's actually not. Yeah, that didn't cross my mind the force jump thing, but yeah, no, I'd say it was just get her out. The older Omega gets, the more I'm liking her positive spin on everything, and always wanting to see people's bright side. Like a kid, yeah, 100%, 100%. It's good just to have that constant clash, I like it. Whilst they're teaching her, she's also teaching them a thing or two. And then yeah, Omega sort of fires back and is like, "Well, I never gave up on you, Crosshair," and then that's his face. He's like, "Oh, yeah, touche." So she wants to give Ventress a chance, which they actually listen because the next day she rocks up for her training, and the Bad Batch aren't there with her, but they are still watching from afar. Omega sees the good in her, wanting to see the bright stuff. And you tell it's like unsettling for Ventress because she's like, "You're an odd little clone," which Omega just takes as a compliment anyway. Wanting to know how, she wants to know what her progress has been so far. Ventress tells her, she fails the first test, but they're going on. I guess it's technically the official second, but to Omega it's probably the third. Going on the final test. So they go on a boat. They're going out to the water. Omega's cheerful, smiling, as you can see here. Which Ventress, says it's unsettling. Stop smiling. But all that does is tell us about her background. Like, you see her smiling in the Jedi throwback in the Clone Wars at some point. But after that, everything's just grim. Like, when was it? If we saw Ventress smiling right now, that would freak me out. That would freak me out. We do not see her smile. Youthful optimism, that's the word. I'm about to face Rick the Technician. I saw a video of someone save him. I think they picked him up and force pushed him to the other side, and so obviously he can't run at you. What? Rick was beating JS. Yeah, no, I saw a video of someone save him. They pushed him to the other side, and he just stands there, and you can just hear him yelling at you. All right, we got a rack. How long have I been live for? 42 minutes. I've still got another 10 slides to go. Oh my goodness. I gotta go. But anyway, yeah, so they go out to the water. Ventress wants her to connect with nature, see if they can feel her energy. And Omega's standing here, but she just doesn't know what she's reaching out for. Meanwhile, this is one of my favorite bits. Wrecker and that are from afar with their binoculars, and Ventress can sense them when they zoom in on her. She just turns her head and freaks Wrecker out. Great little scene. I loved it. And then Omega's frustrated at nothing happening, so she gives up. Ventress blames the other clones for her lack of discipline and training because obviously they're just overprotective. Maybe wrapped her up in a bit of cotton wool, but at the same time, she's had quite a few experiences. So Omega sort of, challenges her, saying Ventress probably doesn't know what she's talking about either. And then Ventress does the old classic master proving why she's the master, teacher showing why she's the teacher thing, and reaches out. Now, these little eel-like things, little creatures begin to appear because obviously they're feeling Ventress's energy. Is this what got me here in this scene is it like a possible shout out to, Dark Disciple maybe? Obviously the color of them is green. Green represents Night Sister magic. But also in the book Dark Disciple, when Ventress is buried in the Dark Pool, the water turns green as the Night Sister voices can be heard. So I thought this was quite interesting. Maybe, a bit of a shout out to the Dark Disciple book, which, that'd be cool, I reckon. Oh, R.I.P. Rick. Oh, that's gonna be freaky. That's gonna be I don't know if I can handle that, dude. That's gonna be terrifying. Yeah, no, that was an awesome thing. If Rex sees Ventress, I'm sure he would remember the battle. That would be insane. That would be cool. That'd be very cool, really. And then yeah, like the eel-like creature scatter as this big monster appears because it's also felt Ventress's energy. She didn't mean to summon it. The Bad Batch get the Marauder and attack her, which just makes it angrier. So Ventress tells Omega, call them off. And then yeah, she has this little moment with it, showing she has the beast control ability like Ahsoka used with the Purgle in the Ahsoka series, which is nice. And hey, I told you, Wet Hair Sarge is the GOAT. That's the whole point of this screenshot. Wet Hair Sarge is the GOAT. Need this sort of out to the side back here, and then this up here. There you go to the Kessel Run to get it done. Ventress would be an excellent master. She has Jedi and Sith and Night Sister training. Give me anyone who would be better or more knowledgeable. Not Luke, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, maybe Dooku. I was saying when we're talking a while ago now, like this would have been months ago, about like sort of what the future is for Cal and Merrin. And I was saying, imagine a hybrid Jedi and Night Sister order. That would be nuts. That would be nuts. Like, imagine Cal and Merrin as like the teachers. It's like a hybrid between Jedi and Night Sister stuff. That'd be crazy. That was the whole point of the screenshot as well. Was just saying, yeah, Wet Hair Sarge is the go. We've got 4 more guys. This is when the Marauder picks them up. Crosshair reaches his hand out to a Sarge, signaling, she has gained his trust, which is quite nice. We've got about 10 more minutes. We've bought ourselves some time. Here, the whole Bad Batch are saying goodbye to Ventress. She tells Omega from what she has seen, she does not have a high M count, which almost leaves Omega with more questions than answers. Because if she doesn't have a high M count, why is she why is she still like the most wanted by the Empire? Which leads into more things that she might be not because of her high M count, but more compatibility with M count blood, going down the road of Palpatine cloning, all that sort of thing. And then Wrecker and I think they went and got food. Like Wrecker's trying to get her mind off of it, so he's like, "Come on, kid, we'll go get some food." But Hunter and Wrecker stay behind. Sorry, not Hunter and Wrecker. Hunter and Crosshair stay behind because they think she's lying. So Ventress elaborates. She's like, if Omega did have potential, like with the Force, she'd have to get trained, meaning she'd have to leave the Bad Batch, which obviously isn't on the cards for them because they're like her big brother, so they want to keep an eye on them. So, especially at this stage where she's most wanted. But Ventress does warn them, leave Pabu because they're not as safe as they think. Probably, I wouldn't say she knows anything, but it'd be more like, if she can find them, what's to stop other people finding them as well. She probably has like the advantage with her Force capabilities and stuff. But yeah, they would be, dude. They would be, even if they just started an order and they taught them like both sides. That would be nuts. That would be nuts. And then we get this final bit here. She's walking off, leaving him. Crosshair's like, I can't figure out what side you're on. She's like, well, I'm on my own side. And then we get this really cool bit. Hunter asks if, she's worried about the Empire coming after her. No, and she's like, well, they can try, but she has a few lives left. And that's sort of where it ends. She walks off. Why does she have a few lives left? What does that mean? I've got ideas. What happens if I go back? I don't know if he goes back. Nice. I've got ideas. I wonder if Ventress put some sort of tracker on Omega or her possessions to be able to find her. I think she'd be really protective and not want Omega to have the same life she did. That's a great point, Sin. That's a great point. You never know. That's actually a great point. She definitely made an impact on Ventress, that's for sure. I don't know if her attachment would go that deep just yet, because obviously Sarge would be quite stone-hearted after all her experiences. That's a good point. You never know. Oh, 100%. 100%, Julie. 1,000%. But I do want to touch on, I sort of spoke about it in a YouTube short I did the other day, but I do want to touch on that comment at the end, she says, I have a few lives left. She's either been revived. I'm leaning towards the revive thing. I've always have been, purely because I think it's going to lead up to what we're going to see in Ahsoka. It's going to just sort of foreshadow it with all these Night Sisters getting revived by the Great Mothers on Dathomir with Thrawn and all that. But the few lives left thing almost points towards cloning, and it drew my mind back. I don't know how many of you guys would be familiar with the story. It drew my mind that there's a story in the first run of Vader comics, which takes place straight after A New Hope. And Palpatine's been communicating. One of the doctors that worked on, you don't actually see him in Revenge of the Sith. One of the doctors who was working on Vader's suit, Palpatine kept close because he was super into the cloning stuff. And he cloned himself I don't know if it was an infinite amount of times, but he cloned himself quite a few times. So every time this doctor dude got killed, like after A New Hope, every time he got killed, the next clone would be alerted and walk out of like this cryo chamber, and he'd have all like the brain, all the brains were connected. So even if this dude died, the next clone had all the prior knowledge and like just acted like he would if he hadn't died. And it just drew my mind to that. Like, what if there's a similar case with Asajj, where like if they killed Asajj, then another Asajj clone on Dathomir could just walk out of the chamber or something. I don't think that's the case, but just the few more lives thing interest like really got my attention. Like, what does that mean? We're gonna find out more later. Ventress has no issues fighting Jedi or people in power, but we've seen she has a code about helping defenseless or weak people. 100%. 100%. I felt a Night Sister revived her. I think so too, because it makes more sense with where they're going at the moment with stories and stuff with the series. They could all sort of link in, because they do it a lot. They always foreshadow stuff. You'll get a little taste of it here. It's like in the Ahsoka series. You get a little taste of it with Marok. And then the rest of it. And then like 4 or 5 episodes later, you get the Night Troopers all rising. It's just like they do these little bits of foreshadowing before you get a big hit of it. I think your clones wouldn't be quite as strong or powerful or smart. No, probably. There's only one you and the others would be copies. Agreed, but you also don't know we don't know the full extent of Night Sister magic, because they are insanely powerful. That's the other half, but we haven't dug into Night Sister magic enough, which I think we're going to be going down that road. Getting a little taste of it here with Fallen Order, Survivor, Ahsoka, now this probably. We just don't. They are very powerful beings. Like Dooku was insanely fearful of them. So yeah, you just don't know. Each clone of you would be a tiny bit less. Well, that's what you'd like. That's how you would think. But it might be more on the technological side. But this dude in these Vader comics was like, he picked up from where he started. Like they are carbon copies of each other. It was weird, but they're like carbon copies of each other. I think they got to like the 6th edition of him. Like Vader killed him a bunch of times, and they got to like the 6th edition. But I think that was also because all their brains were more like more chips. It's like all the information was just immediately uploaded to all of them, and then like they ended up blowing up the ship that had all the clones on him. So he just ceased to exist after that. Night Sisters could revive her, but she's still Ventress. They're not cloners. No, 100%. That's why I'm definitely leaning, like my whole thought process the whole time has been she got revived. It's just that comment at the end, a few more lives, that just points me more in the direction of cloning. Unless there's like something where if she dies, she just gets immediately revived on Dathomir or something. Maybe they have the original. Maybe it's not necessarily cloning. Maybe they're always just cloning the same body. maybe say this body of her dies, they clone the original body again. So it's not like they're cloning the clone each time. Maybe they're cloning the original body each time. There's a few different ways. There's so many ideas going around my head right now. Totally agree. It's way advanced technology. The Kaminoans perfected, but they're all dead. And if it was that easy, Hemlock would have figured it all out. Well, that's what I mean. It's not easy. And they've still got Nala say. Maybe they can only revive her a set. Maybe. That's what I mean. There's so many possibilities, Sin. My head is like touched on all of them, and a few have stuck. But like, there are so many possibilities. The other thing that sort of struck me, I doubt it's going to happen. But is there a chance we might get an Asajj and Omega training series? Depending whatever happens at the end. Maybe, Omega, Bad Batch die, Omega goes off with Asajj. Probably not. But it did occur to me. Remember Game of Thrones when they'd bring back that night, but he said he was less each time? But I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I haven't watched Breaking Bad. Like, there are a couple really popular TV shows I have not laid eyes on. I've seen like a couple scenes from it. So yeah, that's my confession. I've not seen it. It's been a super short and sharp stream. I appreciate all you guys being here. I will have to call it here though. We're almost at an hour. I will have to call it here though. Purely, I got a couple bits of family on the way over, so I will have to call it. But I appreciate all you guys coming through. It was fun doing the live review, and I'm definitely going to keep doing it. Next week, what's next week? Sunday? Yeah, no, I should be. I was going to say next weekend I'm insanely busy with sport. But early on Sunday is probably like the one weekend I'm actually, the one part of the weekend I'm actually free. So yeah, no. So we'll be back to the normal time-ish next Sunday. It'd be Saturday night for you guys, Sunday morning for me. Thank you. No, thank you guys. You're the ones that come through. I'm just waffling about Star Wars. And I get motivated by you guys. Appreciate you guys coming through. Appreciate you, Julie. Always appreciate you. Appreciate you, Sin. The other confession I've got, I didn't realize it was Sin in the Discord call we're in earlier in the week. Until he, just as he left. Because I was looking at all the names. And I just saw SCV, and I was like, oh, it might be. And then I put it together just as you left. I was like, oh, Sin City Dylan. So yeah, I'll definitely jump in one of those calls again if you're happy to have me, because that was heaps of fun. I loved it. Oh, I appreciate you, JS. I hope you enjoy your trip, even if you can't make it. Appreciate you enjoy your trip. Yeah, and I'll say it again. When do you leave? What time do you leave, JS? I was watching. I was able to watch most of that stream, and yeah, when I saw you, I think Hannah put the comment up. I was like, Jesse, need to get a Jesse helmet. That looks so cool though. That was so well done. I'm the biggest troll shit talk ass Jess. I probably would hate me. Dude, that's what makes it funny though, Sin. That's what makes it so funny. Wednesday morning, Thursday night for you guys. Yeah, what is Wednesday morning for you guys is Thursday. What's Wednesday morning for you guys is like Wednesday night going into Thursday morning for us, yeah. Depends where you are, depends what time as well. But yeah. Wednesday morning is Wednesday night going into Thursday. I think it ranges from about 12 to 18 hours maybe. 14 to 18 hours or something from east to west. We're ahead of you. Yeah. I sort of got the hang of it, when I was over in America last year. Like when I was in LA and that on the west side, time was a lot closer to Australia, whereas when I was on the east, it was a bit more opposite. This JS channel choosing to log in probably has a figure on the Twitch. JS is going to hit Sin with the ban hammer on the Discord one day. Never. We need Sin. We need a bit of Sin City in our lives. Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming through. Try get a video out this week. I uploaded a video last night. Try get another one out this week. And yeah, I'll see you on the stream on Saturday night for you guys, Sunday for me. May the force be with you guys.